Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up, double up. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled by it, man. Thank you. The Outlaw twins, the twin outlaws. The assassins have entered the building. Wait up, the assassins have been escorted from the building, right? The escorted guys, the island boys of the biker world are back, right? I felt I should elaborate and do a second video because what is it really all about? Yesterday, I did a video kind of introducing us to the twin outlaws and kind of the way they get down. But as I dug deeper and deeper and deeper, I realized that these guys are a fraud. They're nothing. Okay, they're not feds. They might be willing to assist the feds, you know, in some special operation. But if you really break it down, the Sturgis incident, what happened, what were they really trying to do? If they incited the Hells Angels or any other 1%er biker club to put hands on them, then it'd be a simple battery and assault. It's not like it's some big old investigation. These guys are putting themselves out there. These guys are all about the clout. They are the island boys of the biker world, period. And that's about as far as it goes. This baiting, this constant disrespect that they're doing, it's all for clout. See, as I dug deeper, I realized these guys were on Judge Judy. These two brothers were nerded out the game on Judge Judy. And that right there, I think, is what introduced them to the thirst of clout. See, when you're on a game show or Maury, you are not the father. Yes, I am. Motherfucker, I'm trying to help you out. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm not, right? When these guys go on to these special shows or they get a little bit of celebrity, motherfuckers get addicted to it. Happens on YouTube all the time. Person gets 1,000 views and voila, he's the next biggest thing going on YouTube, right? Next day he gets 200 and realizes, hey, you bumped your head, puto. It was the people that you were talking about, not you, stupid. That's just usually how it goes, right? These guys got addicted, and the thirst for the clout is so real that they're willing, they're so unintelligent that they're willing to disrespect 1% outlaw biker clubs for that, to quench that thirst. And in the midst of doing so, these guys have grown balls because they've gotten braver and braver and braver. But it's all a twist. It's all social media. It's all a figment of their imagination to basically taunt and tempt these groups into doing something, because the more that they put out there, the more that they say, the more that they're recognized for it, the more that they figure that these outlaws cannot do anything. They're basically handcuffing them without being law enforcement. Because what happens if you talk about someone continuously and all the time? Well, two things could happen. One, you can get got, which unfortunately in their situation is only a matter of time, pretty much. And the other thing is, the more you speak it into existence and say things, then that's putting kind of a safeguard around you, a barrier, blockage, right? Because now you've basically said these guys right here want to do something bad to us, or you've said enough disrespectful words and bad things about them to kind of force their hand, and you know they can't, because now law enforcement is watching closely. Let me explain to you about a lot of the biker clubs nowadays, man. They've changed. It's kind of went commercial now. See, back in the days, it was very clandestine. A lot of people knew about bikers but didn't know about bikers because you didn't have individuals speaking on them or talking about their club business. Now, I tend to not talk about club business. That's not my thing. When it comes to the biker world, like I said, I've met Hells Angels, I've met Mongols, I've met some of these clubs, man, that were just, it blew my mind just to be around these individuals and see how they party and see how they got down. But it's changed a little bit now. Now you see them more on doing toy drives. You see a lot of things that they've been doing, but you see it now in public. The public's eyes are open to it. Someone bit the apple and now they know. I've always respected bikers. that biker community. Solid individuals, always showed me respect when I was around them. And they're not nothing to be played with. Okay, not at all. You know, you respect the road when a biker's on it, just like they respect you when you're on it. But don't get it twisted, man. They live in their own world. They have their own rules, their own vices. They go by their rules. So when you have two clowns that were on fucking Judge Judy, a fake show, okay, or maybe it isn't, because I guess you get your car stolen, you go on Judge Judy, and you will be adjudicated $296. These guys got that thirst for clout and they ran with it. And somehow they transformed themselves into the twin outlaw bikers. Out of anything they could have been, they went that route. Well, you know, just because you grow your scraggly ass beard out and your long ass fake extended hair doesn't make you a biker. See, there's more to it than a look. There's more to it than a shower. There's more to it than a lot of different things. A lot of these bikers, man, do it for the love of their brother. They enjoy riding free. They enjoy what they got going on in the clubhouse, that camaraderie, that love, like a big family. Okay. These guys, you notice, you never see them around any type of women. It's always just them licking on each other's earlobes. I mean, these dudes are so close in the pictures, their beards are doing this. Scruffy beard versus scruffy beard, right? It's called scruff on scruff violence. Now, as I dug deeper into this fucking situation, I could see that this just is a circus. It's a comedy show that has gotten out of hand. Two guys that figured, hey, if we fucking change our lives and turn into these bikers, man, we can be part of this community. And I feel they were shunned. I feel just because you grab a bike and a chaleco, a vest, right, doesn't make you a part of a club. You know, so these guys came up with their own fucking club, the Twin Outlaws. That's what we are, right? We're Bolo. We don't need anybody. It's just me and my boyfriend, right? That's what they did. Now, what makes these guys what makes people key in on them and is that they're twin brothers, that they're two twins. Now, there's been twins in the biker world. There's been twins in the Norteño world, the South Side world, every world, okay? And a couple of the most known twins were Mooch and his brother from the Mongols. Very well-known twins in the biker community, very well respected. And these guys tried to bait Mooch and his brother into some fights and try to disrespect them. And Mooch, in a calm, cool manner, like he usually does, said, you know, we can handle our business, have just like a nice little charity event, a little boxing match, and go on from there. We can handle it in the ring. These guys made a big old deal out of it. And I don't understand if these guys understand how disrespectful it is to portray or steal valor, like stolen valor type shit. You're a stolen valor biker, right? These guys are the island boys of the biker community. You know, like the island boys try to act like they're rappers, and then the next minute they try to act like they're R&B singers. Then the next minute they're French kissing. Fuck it. They did everything they could do. They kept getting in the ring and getting demolished. People are like, well, at least they got in the ring. Yeah. Who wouldn't for 150 racks? You know what I mean? Of course. Next thing you know, these twin outlaws are going to be in the ring jacking each other off. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be monumental. Look, the fact is these guys are just simply clout chasers. They're not feds. As I started to look into it, a lot of people, it looks like, hey, they could have been law enforcement. Maybe this is a big setup. Maybe this is meant to incite the Hells Angels to do something to them so they can get this big old RICO. That's not the way it works. If these Hells Angels would have beat these guys up at Sturgis when they caught them slipping, it would have been a simple battery and assault, unless it went different, right? Of course, law enforcement's going to escort them up out of there. Of course, law enforcement's going to make sure that these biker clubs don't jump on them. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. It doesn't mean that these dudes are feds or that these guys are undercover, because basically they're not undercover. They're overcover. I mean, they might be under the covers together, but they're overcover, right? They're letting everybody know they're just two fucking idiots that don't realize how serious it could get or is going to get. You know, these guys literally had the balls to pull up to Sturgis. I was surprised. I think the biker community, the people that watch, you know, these shows like Demon's Row and all these different shows. Shout out to Demon's Row, man. That's a very good channel when it comes to the biker community. I watch it all the time, right? I like it. I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed bikers and their get down and respected it. So that's a show I definitely watch. Make sure you tap into it on YouTube. He solidified that shit. But if you think about it, these guys don't understand these twin outlaws. They're making mockery and fun of clubs that have established themselves or put in their work or done their due diligence for fucking decades. You know, the Hells Angels have been around for decades. Okay, this is a group of individuals that did have a bad left a bad taste in people's mouths when it came to society and the communities, and then over time was able to build not only on that legacy but commercialize and basically go public with who they are and what they're really all about. Okay, there's always going to be some bad apples. There's always going to be some motherfuckers that are doing their thing on the inside, and those guys get investigated and snatched up quick. But for the most part, the Hells Angels and even the Mongols and these crews, man, they do a lot for their communities. They show a lot of love and they get a lot of respect and love in return. So it's crazy to see some fucking disrespectful pencil neck nerds that were on Judge Judy continuously disrespecting these guys. I don't understand what their big beef is with the biker community or with the one percenters. And look, when you're so disgruntled and mad at a certain group, it's only because either they did you dirty or they didn't allow you to become one of them. And ain't no way you're going to become a 1% biker, man, if you're not really about that life and not willing to make sacrifices. These guys are in a garage next to two beat up ass Datsun pickup trucks, identical, you know what I'm saying? Face to face, they're parked face to face, and just disgruntled and mad and upset and worried and all these things. And they're speaking on some heavy hitters, some heavy groups. Sturgis, they got lucky. Now, there's some guy that they actually put out a video on TikTok where some guy's saying he's actually siding with them like a baboso, right? Hey, same thing happens with the Island Boys. They get a lot of love. They get a lot of money. You know, we ask ourselves nowadays in this era that we're living in, what the fuck backwards ass world are we living? I say it all the time. It's backwards. The Matrix. Things that we grew up on, whether it be gangs or bikers or anything in life, music, everything is ass backwards. The best rapper can't rap. The best trapper can't trap. The best torta ain't really her. Everything is surgically prepared, right? It's not what it is. It's an optical illusion. And these guys going into the biker community, the twin outlaws, doing the fakery and being fake Island Boy bikers, that's not real. They got people convinced, though, that they're really tough guys. They put themselves in a position where they had to pull up to Sturgis. They said they were going to do it. They spoke it into existence. They put out that energy, and then they did. And in fact, this is the truth. This is just coming from my outside view, my perspective. It did make them, even though they were escorted by the police, which naturally is what's going to happen when a whole bunch of fucking big bad bikers are coming to get you, right? Especially the Hells Angels. But they actually did pull up to Sturgis, and that's their claim to fame. And they're going to milk that because they're all about clout. They're going to throw that in everyone's face. See, we're not in the house all day. See, we're willing to pull up. See, we're willing to do this or that. When in fact, the truth of the matter is, man, most of the places that these guys were in open areas where everyone could see them. They filmed quick, and I'm sure they jumped in their truck and went to Denny's to go get the slam burger. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, while one of them was slamming that burger. That's just how it is. When this incident took place at Sturgis, you could see the Hells Angels were very cautious as they approached. You could see that they walked up kind of bewildered that these guys would even be there. You know, that's how I would feel. If someone's talking shit, you're like, pull up, pull up, pull up. And then they pull up, you're like, whoa, fuck. These motherfuckers really pulled up, eh? You're going to be tripping, whooping. You're going to be kind of tripping. Same thing happened with the Manny Weiss situation in Vegas. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of pull up. And then he pulled up and he pulled out, right? And it got crazy. Thank God it didn't escalate to that situation because there could have been a lot of families affected. You know, a lot of those Hells Angels, people look at them and they think outlaw, crime, gangster, whatever they think. But no, I think family man, someone who's close to his brothers that's defending his honor. It's what I think when I see them, right? I think like, oh man, they're continuing a tradition that was started years ago, decades ago. And these two fucking babosos, the twin outlaws, you know, the Island Boys are basically shitting on that, disrespecting it. What do you expect to happen? Are they feds? No, they can't be. I'll tell you why. These guys, when they were on Judge Judy's, they weren't doing the federal thing. They didn't just become, believe me, the feds is not picking two fucking nerds like that, right? They didn't just become federal agents. What they did was become disillusioned and disgruntled with the motorcycle world when they tried to change and transition. I use the word trans loosely. They transition into being bikers, and we're told, get the fuck out of here, stupid. No. Hell no, bro. You guys don't got that pedigree. You're not cut from that motherfucking cloth. And so they took to Instagram, they took to TikTok, they took to social media, YouTube, and decided, hey, what's the best thing we could do to get attention, to get clout? A lot of people do it. Disrespect. See, disrespect will get you all the clout you want, especially when you're disrespecting something that's taboo. When you're disrespecting people that are not usually disrespected, people are not usually talked about as much as other people, then you start to gain a following. There's other people love the drama. They love the caca, right? They're like in it. And that's what these guys are doing. They're just simple clout chasers that are making unwise and violent decisions. Violent decisions meaning not on their part. The decision they're made can get violent. You know, I've never, ever seen people disrespect like they do. Okay. It's not even subliminals. It's not even tell a story and throw some funny shit in it. It's straight up. Here's what it is. You know, even after these guys were escorted by police escort out of Sturgis, when one of them allegedly pulled out a gun, right? To which automatically that gun just disappeared, man. The cops didn't even trip off of it. I guess he had a conceal and carry or something, which leads me to believe you don't see too many bikers with the conceal and carry. I mean, there are them. But as hardcore as these fucking demonic fucking twins are, right? Let me tell you, the mother must be ashamed. I'm not trying to disrespect anyone's mother, but their twin outlaws' mother must be fucking ashamed that not only did she have one idiot, but she had two. These dudes finish each other's fucking stories. These dudes lick each other's faces. These dudes probably shave together. Am I lined up, brother? Am I lined up? Am I lined up? Yeah, you're lined up good. Want me to line you up from the back? Yeah, hit it from the back. Why are you bending me over? Right? They're different. One thing I can say for sure is clout is a hell of a drug, and these two simple-minded idiots prove it. Okay? These guys that have decided to, and they're trying to make a mockery and make fun and show like, look, nothing's going to happen to us. We're good. That's what got people to think that they were law enforcement, because only law enforcement officers, undercovers, have a bravado. But if you watch real undercovers, if you watch the movies, right, about real undercovers, like Donnie Brasco, and there's a few other ones, these guys that infiltrate mobs or clubhouses or gangs or groups or gaggles, right? Notice there's a common denominator there. They're always in fear for their life or fear of being discovered. These guys obviously are not. These guys, or maybe they're smarter than the rest of us and they're using a cold twist. Like if we put ourselves out there, people won't believe. But what could they literally be working on? An assault and battery? They'd have just got their asses kicked in the Hells Angels. The Hells Angels would have got bailed out the next day. Their old lady had money on standby, I'm sure, right? I don't know, man. I know this. These guys are involved in the clout chasing game, and it's getting crazy now to the point where threats and most of these threats are not coming from the clubs. Believe that. They're coming from other simple-minded individuals that ain't really going to do shit but want to have their voice heard. That's what social media is nowadays. You get clowns doing clown shit, and you got these two twin outlaw clowns trying to do some clown shit in the biker world. It's never been done before. It's unprecedented. Do they deserve a handshake or a clap? Oh, they might get clapped all right, but not the type of clap that you think. Anyways, it's a very intriguing story, man. I'm keeping up with it now. They're on my radar, kind of like the Sin City situation, which I got a video coming up here in a little while about that situation. I got some more information. It's kind of crazy, right? Anyways, we're just peeping it out as it goes. These guys, once I seen the Judge Judy thing, I said, nerds, right? I went into ogre, went to booger. The Omega Moose sure know how to party, right? Well, the Outlaw twins don't, but they're going to get invited to a party where they dance all night. I'm pretty sure of it, right? What do you guys think about these guys? Some of you that watch me don't even know who the fuck I'm talking about. Tap in, man. You got to peep these guys out. These guys are hilarious. The Twin Outlaws, the hardest motherfuckers walking since Sonny Barger. Yeah, right. Rest in peace to that man. And maybe rest in peace to you guys soon if you keep fucking running your mouths. I'm saying, I don't incite violence. I don't appreciate violence. I don't direct violence. But man, you are fucking with a violent situation, Twin Outlaws. And that's all I got to say about that. Let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. Stop chasing clout, babosos. You're not going to get nothing but a few views and a kick in the tailpipe. And you don't need that. The gun. Bang, bang.